Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial provided by donwebsolutions.com. My name is Don Mudalige, and in today's tutorial we will be discussing the Bluehost cPanel and specifically how you can get SSH access into your web server. So with this in mind, there are a couple of things that we will follow throughout this section. So just so you have a brief introduction, in order for you to go through with this tutorial, you need the following. You need the Bluehost cPanel credentials. That way you can log into your Bluehost account. And once you're logged into the account, we are going to create an SSH key and then learn how to use that SSH key in order for you to use a terminal like PuTTY to SSH into your web server. So let's get started. All right. So like I had mentioned before, first thing you need to do is you need to log into your Bluehost account. And once you're logged into your account, it probably might look something similar to this. And I'm talking in specific terms to Bluehost because that's one of the hosting accounts that I recommend my clients buy because of their unparalleled support, 24/7 support help. And all in all, they do have good servers with good bandwidth, and a lot of other needs, especially for a small business owner in order for them to host a website. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is we are going to go to the advanced section. The advanced section will essentially take you to the dashboard of the cPanel. And once you're in the cPanel dashboard, here's what we're going to do. We will click on, if you go down, we will click on the SSH access under security. So it's right here. You can access it through here, or on the left-hand column, you will also see that you have an SSH access here as well. So either one, you click on the SSH access. Once you are there, you will see that you get one option that would be manage SSH access, manage SSH keys. Click on that. And once you're here, here's what we're going to do. We will be generating a new key, and that's the most easiest way for me to get through this tutorial without getting into more specifics on how to do it. So in order for you to do that, you click on the Generate New Key button. And once you're in the page, you're going to give it a name. So for this section, I'm going to call it Donweb Test. You're going to give it a password. Use a strong password for this section. That's very important, but for the tutorial purposes, I will be choosing a password here. You can always use a password generator if you want a stronger, more encrypted password that you want to use in the system. So I leave that up to you. Oh, it says that my passwords do not match, so let me go ahead and redo them before I move ahead. Okay. You're going to select the key type as RSA, and you're going to leave the key size at 2048. You're not going to change anything. You can keep them as default. And once you're done with it, you're going to click on the Generate Key button. And for some reason, it still says that I have a wrong password. So let's see whether I can get rid of this. Okay, there you go. I'm going to click on the Generate Key. So once you're done with this, your key is generated. So there's a couple of things that you need to do after this. So what you're going to do is you're going to click the Go Back button once again. It'll take you to the main page where you have all of your keys. And once you're here, you will see a list of your public and private keys. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to have to authorize your public key. As you can see, the status here says it's not authorized. So in order for you to do that, what we will do is click on Manage, and then click Authorize. So your public key is now authorized. The next step in the process is for you to download your private key. It's in a format called .ppk, and that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to go down, browse to your private key, and when you're here, you're going to select the key that you want to download. So the one that we created right now is this one right here. We're going to select View Download. And once you're on the key page, they will give you an option to convert the key into a PPK format. So here's what we want to do. So we're going to be very easy. You're going to enter the password that you created. So in my case, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to type in the password that we created when we are creating the key, and you're going to hit Convert button. Once you hit the Convert button, it'll give you an option to download the key in a PPK format. So I'm going to hit Download Key, and that will essentially download the key into your desktop or your downloads folder in your computer. So most of the work is done now. So we have created a PPK key. So a couple of things before I move ahead. By default, SSH access on your web server might not be enabled through Bluehost. So one thing that you will have to do, even if you do create this, is to contact customer service. You can always get on their live chat support, or you can give them a call and tell them to enable SSH access. It's most likely that it's not enabled by default. So I recommend you doing this before you attempt the next step, which is using a terminal window. In my case, we will be using PuTTY in order for us to access your web servers. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open a PuTTY window. All right, my PuTTY window is right here. Okay, my PuTTY is acting up a little bit. There you go. Several things that you need to know. You need to know the host name, and the port that you're accessing is to port 22. So how do you get these details? If you do not know how to get these details, I'm going to show you how to get it. You're going to go back to your advanced section of your Bluehost profile. And once you are here, my server is acting up a little bit today. One of the reasons might be is because I actually have some files uploading into an FTP server in the background. So I do apologize for the delay on my end. But once you're here, you will see that you will be given some information on the right-hand side under General Information. Now, I will be blurring out most of this information because I don't want you to have some of these content, but some of the things that you do have here is a current user. The user name here is going to be important as well, so I suggest you note it down. And if you come down a little bit, you will see another section that it says server information. So if you click the server information button, it will take you to a section where it will give you your server IP address. Where exactly is your server IP address? Or am I mistaken on this end? There you go. So again, I will be blurring this out, but you have a section called shared IP address. So you would need that in order for you to access your SSH under PuTTY. So what we're going to do is you're going to use that information here. I'm going to copy and paste it. Please do not be alarmed if it's blocked out. I am trying to make sure that nobody will hack into my account, but it's important that you get this information. So you get this host name or the IP address. IP address would be best if you have one. Once you have that, You on the left-hand column of your PuTTY terminal, you will have under connection a section called SSH. You're going to click that. And under SSH, you're going to click on the auth key. And once you're here, this will give you a chance to browse and select the PPK that you downloaded. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to select browse. Once again, guys, I really do apologize for the slow machine right now. I have a large file uploading into my FTP server. And once you're here, you can select the file that you've downloaded. That's a downwebtest.ppk. You're going to select that. And then you can actually go back into, and this is a trick that I recommend you do as well. You can go back into your PuTTY session and you can save these details according to test server. And then you can hit save. Now, what this does is actually saves all of your information. So next time you're trying to SSH into your account using PuTTY, most of your information is going to be set up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to save it right here. And once you're done with that, the way that you load it is you click on the server that you want to load and you click load. It'll load it here. And once that is done, you click the open button. And the open button will essentially open a SSH window into your server. And it says login as. So here's what's important. Remember when we were talking about the Bluehost account earlier, we were discussing you will have a username. So the username, I asked you to note it down, so that would be important. So we're going to write the username. And once the username is done, it'll ask for your SSH key password that you created. So this is the password that you created when you were creating the SSH key. You enter that into the system. There you go. Now you are essentially logged into your account. If you want to see a list of everything that is in your account, you can type the ls command. That'll show you a list. And if you want to open a specific folder, you can do cd and the folder that you want to open up. And here you can see a list of all the files that you have as well. So this gives you a brief update on how to SSH into your account and use PuTTY in order to do so. So once again, you need to have these credentials, your Bluehost credentials. You're going to create an SSH key. Then you're going to download that SSH key in a PPK format. And once you're done with that, you will be using PuTTY or a terminal window in order for you to SSH into the server. That being said, I'm going to sign out. I do have a link if you want to purchase a Bluehost hosting account. I do have a link in the profile. You can use that. Like I had mentioned earlier, Bluehost is one of my de facto recommendations for hosting services because of their support and their speed and a lot of other details that you might not get from other hosting providers. So with that being said, I'm signing off. Once again, this is Don Web Solutions. My name is Don Mudalige, and I'm looking forward to creating more tutorials that will help you in the near future. Thank you.